Thank you guys for tuning in, everybody. I am the Mommy Money Getter, aka MMG. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and please hit the like button. Guys, I hate to do it to you, but I'm about to deconstruct some myths about the story of Ruth and Boaz, and I'm also about to give you my review on the Netflix movie that has been produced by Tyler Perry and Devin Franklin. If you haven't seen it already, spoiler alert, I'm about to get some details from the movie, and I'm also going to give my honest rating. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss this. This is going to be an epic vlog for Vlogtober. I'm doing vlogs all Vlogtober long, all October. Stay tuned. I'll be dropping vlogs. I'll be going live. I'll be doing shorts. And here you go.
Funny TSM.
Mommy money getter, TSM, yeah.
Getting money, what you say, huh? Getting money, what you say, huh? Getting money,
Yeah, what you say,
huh? Getting money,
TSM, yeah. It's like the money coming quicker. It's TSM and it's the mommy money getter. Get money every day. Get money, what you say?
Girlfriend, if you've been waiting on your Boaz to come and find you, you're going to have to keep waiting. And if you thought you were going to get this epic love story from Netflix and Tyler Perry about the story of Ruth and Boaz, well, you're going to have to keep waiting for that too. I'm about to break down the Ruth and Boaz movie, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, stop watching and come back when you're done. I'm also going to tell you the truth about the story of Ruth and Boaz, and I'm letting you know right now, it's going to blow your mind. Watch until the end to see what I mean. You guys know I say this every other Tyler Perry movie, but please stop letting that man make movies. I'm serious. I did like his last movie, Straw, but not enough to change my mind about the fact that he should not be trusted with any more movies. The story of Ruth and Boaz is way too important. You have so many women who imagine a Boaz, imagine being rescued like Ruth in the biblical story, right? However, that's not what we got out of this movie. It felt cheap. It felt like the production was on a shoestring budget, like all of Tyler's movies. And I just feel like this story is so well known, it's so well regarded that he should have taken more time and he should have invested more money into it. That's the bottom line. Now, I like Soraya, who was Ruth in the movie, and Tyler Lepley. I've never really seen him in anything, but I know he's pretty popular from that Star show. I can't think of the name. You guys will let me know in the comments. You know, I can never think for myself. Money getters, I always need your help. But they starred in the movie, as well as Felicia Rashad. I like Felicia Rashad from The Cosby Show, but in the Tyler Perry movie, no ma'am. She always overreacts, right? I don't know. I didn't like her as Ruth's mother-in-law, but in the movie, she wasn't her mother-in-law. You got to watch the movie, but let me give you a brief synopsis of the story of Ruth. Ruth is married to Naomi's son, and Naomi loses her son, and instead of Ruth moving on with her life, which she was able to do since she is a widow, she decided that she wanted to stay and take care of Naomi. That's the story of Ruth. Now, lore has it that Ruth was tending to the fields and Boaz saw her, this beautiful creature, and decided to marry her. Most women think erroneously that their Boaz will come and find them like Ruth while they're living life. I thought this too, guys. Trust me, I was crushed. And I changed my mind about some things. But most women feel that if they're living life and doing like Ruth and tending to their business, taking care of themselves, then eventually, while they're living life and doing the things that they like to do, they'll attract a man who will come and find them and marry them and rescue them, and then they'll live happily ever after. Ruth didn't do that. Now, Proverbs, let me make sure I get this right, because I don't want to misquote the Bible. Proverbs 18:22 says that a man, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. But that's not the case with Ruth and Boaz. Actually, prompted by her mother-in-law Naomi, Ruth seduced Boaz. Boaz was able to marry Ruth because he was part of Naomi's husband's family, right? So he could marry a widow and to, I forget what they call it. Basically, he could marry his relative's wife if the relative passed on, right? So Naomi said, look, this man is fine. He got it going on. He got money. He could take care of you. You need to go on and go to him while he's asleep, uncover his feet, and tell him. She told her daughter-in-law, look, go let Boaz know what's good. Go to him while he's asleep, uncover his feet, and let him know you're ready, you're willing, and able. Now, Boaz had been seeing Naomi. He thought, she's cool. That's nice of her to take care of Naomi, who is her mother-in-law. She's not obligated because her husband is no longer here. But Ruth, is a good person, and she decides to anyway. So, Boaz thought she was cool, but he wasn't really thinking of her like that. Yes, Naomi did give her the ideal to go and seduce Boaz. And that's when Boaz agreed, okay? So he liked her as well, but it wasn't a thing where he approached her. He wasn't going to approach her without Naomi telling Ruth to go get that man. Somebody else would have got him. So you girls who are out there waiting for your Boaz to come find you, well, you just may need to get out there and do what needs to be done, honey. He may be in your face, or he may be out there and you're waiting for him to approach you. Ruth didn't do that. I know. I was shocked when I found that out as well. Ruth actually seduced him, and baby, long story short, they got married, lived happily ever after. Well, they didn't. Actually, they got married. Boaz got Ruth pregnant, and Boaz passed away. I know. But in the movie, Ruth is not married to Naomi's son. They're actually dating, and because Ruth is actually a singer. She's singing like secular music with risque lyrics. And Ruth, because she has a heart for Jesus, she decides that's not what she wants to do any longer. But the producer, who has invested a lot of money in her, is not seeing it that way. And because he wants his money back and he wants Ruth to make good on his investment, he decides to murk her boyfriend and murk his father. Well, he actually wanted to carjack them to scare Ruth, but things went left, and Ruth's boyfriend and the father ended up getting. So that's how Ruth ended up staying with the mom, Naomi. Naomi's husband had some shady business dealings, and he ended up losing their home. This meant that Naomi had nowhere else to go except back to Tennessee, where they had an old dingy shack and she could live there. And Ruth decides, I'm going with you. I'm going to take care of you. Where you go, I go, like in the Bible, right? So she goes with her, can't find a job, and ends up working in a grapevine that's owned by Boaz's family. And Boaz sees her or whatever, and he's cool. He thinks she's a hard worker. She's cute, obviously. But Ruth isn't paying attention to him. Ruth is just like, you know what? I feel obligated. It's my fault. Really, she felt like it was her fault that her boyfriend and his father ended up. So that's why she was taking care of the mom. Long story short, Naomi and Ruth go to Tennessee. Now Ruth finds a job working at the grapevine, meets Boaz. Naomi pushes her to talk to Boaz. The producer ends up finding Ruth, and he comes back to get her and make good on his investment. He paid like $250K to get her a record deal. Babyface makes an appearance. Jermaine Dupri makes an appearance. It's like a Lifetime movie, something that we've already seen before. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like the care was taken to make this an extravagant, star-studded movie like we saw with Anthony and Cleopatra, or with the story of Moses, or all of those different stories that we've seen from the Bible. This was not it. This wasn't it at all. And Devin Franklin, I expected better than you. You guys remember Devin was married to Megan Good, right? They got a divorce. Now she's married with that Jonathan guy. He got remarried, whatever. But I thought Devin would do a lot better with this movie. You know, Tyler can't be trusted to do these movies on his own. The 688, 366, that Netflix movie with Carrie, what's her name? Lord, my memory is leaving me, y'all. Y'all think I should get that check? Okay. Anyway, that movie did pretty good, and that's because he had the help of, what is her name? Let me look it up, y'all. Kerry Washington. Kerry Washington did an excellent movie on the 3888, 688. I'm not going to go with that. You guys know what I mean. It's on Netflix too. But I think Tyler did okay with that movie because Kerry Washington helped with that movie. I think she helped direct it, something. And you know, Kerry Washington can't really do a bad job on anything. She overreacts too with the lip. You know, she acts with her mouth. But she does a great job. I love her. I do. The movie was just mid. I give it a 5 out of 10. They did follow the concept of the story of Ruth and Boaz. It did have a lot of the Ruth and Boaz elements from the Bible. So they did stick to that. They did update it and make it modern. However, it just seemed like it was something that was already done. I feel like I've seen this before. I don't feel like it was romantic. I just feel like it was just whatever.